Good morning, students. So today is the first class. It is the first online class. So before starting the class, please take out your textbooks, or if you do not have the textbooks, please take out the PDFs. So before we did the classes into separate groups, but from today we'll be doing the classes as a whole. So in our previous classes, we have finished till the first agricultural practice, that is preparation of soil. So today we'll start the class from the second agricultural practice, and that is sowing. So what do you mean by sowing? Sowing is the process of putting the seeds in the soil. So after preparing the soil, what we'll do is we will put the seeds in the soil. So in your book also they have given the definition as sowing is an important part of crop production. It is very important for crop production. Without the seeds, no crop production will be possible. So while sowing, you have to select the seeds. You cannot simply go and sow any seeds. So you have to select the seeds. So how we will select the seeds? There must be some conditions that you have to apply while selecting the seeds. The first condition is seeds should be clean. You cannot sow dirty seeds. The seeds that you will sow must be clean. The second point is seeds should be of good quality. You cannot sow seeds that are of bad quality. The third point is seeds should be healthy and disease free. So what will happen if you sow the seeds without acknowledging these points? Some seeds might be of bad quality, some seeds might be infectious, so the whole crop production will be ruined. So you must always be careful while selecting the seeds. So these are the three conditions that you have to be careful while selecting the seeds. Okay, so while sowing, there must also be some factors that you have to consider. The first factor is seedlings should have enough space for growth and should not compete for nutrients, water and sunlight. Okay, so what do you mean by the first point? So while you start sowing your seeds, if you keep randomly sowing the seeds, what will happen? The seeds will not get enough space. They might be uneven somewhere. So what will happen? That the seeds will not get enough space for growth, and all the seeds will compete for nutrients, water and sunlight. So what will happen? That some seeds might grow very well and some will not grow well. So we must always be careful while sowing. We must be careful that the seeds get enough space. The second point is they must be sown at right depth. If they are too close to the surface, they may be eaten by birds, and if they are sown too deep, they may be deprived of air. Okay, so what does the second point says? So while we sow the seeds, we must be careful about the depth of the seeds. So what will happen? So suppose you have sown a seed and the seed it is too close to the surface. What will happen if it's too close to the surface? The seeds will be eaten by the birds. Okay, so we must be careful about the depth of the seed. Okay, what will happen if the seeds are sown too deep? If the seeds are sown too deep, what will happen? The seeds will be deprived of the air. Suppose this is the land and you have sown the seed somewhere very deep inside. So what will happen? The seed, it will not get enough air. So the seed will get spoiled. So that's why the seeds must always be sown at a particular and a perfect depth, so that the seeds will not be eaten by the birds also, and it will get enough air to grow. Understood? Okay. Okay. Let's move to the Next point. So in the next point you have activity 1.1. Please check your books. So how to check if the seeds are good or bad? Okay, so we can do an activity. So what does the activity says? They say that take a beaker, fill half of it with water, put a handful of wheat seeds and stir it well. Wait for some time. So what will happen if you take a beaker of water? Suppose this is a beaker of water. Okay, and you have put the seeds here. There's water. So what will happen when you put the seeds? Some seeds they will sink, and you will find some seeds they will float on the water. Okay, so these are the seeds that they are floating on the water, and these seeds they have sinked. So what's the difference? So from this we will know that the seeds that are floating on the water, these seeds they are of bad quality, and the seeds that have sinked already they are of good quality. Why? Because the seeds that are floating on the water have become hollow, they are bad, that has nothing inside it. The seeds have become hollow, so they are floating. And on the other hand, the seeds that are that have sinked, they are very good, they have good quality, so you can see them sinking below the water. Okay, so this is what the activity says. This is how you can check the difference of the good seed as well as the bad quality seeds. Understood? Okay, let's move to the next point. Okay, in the next point we will start about the methods. So what are the methods of sowing? The methods of sowing. Okay, so if we see the methods, we can divide them in three groups. Okay, so the first one is broadcasting, the second is traditional method, and the third is seed drill. So what do you mean by broadcasting? Let's start with broadcasting. So broadcasting is nothing but the method of sowing seeds by hand. So previously what people used to do, they used to sow the seeds by hand. They used to just take the seeds and randomly they used to just throw it. It's nothing, it's just a traditional method. Usually people used to do this thing. Okay, this method is very traditional. So what happened when when farmer used to take the help of this method, the seeds, what were the disadvantages? There were many disadvantages of this traditional method. So the first disadvantages is that they are not evenly distributed. So what will happen if you take the seeds and just randomly throw it? What will happen that there might be some seeds here and there might be no seeds here, then again there will be some seeds here. So there are no even distribution. The seeds are very unevenly distributed. So what will happen that it creates the problem of uneven spacing. Okay, it's the second point. So in the land what will happen, there will be no even spacing. So suppose there's a seed here, then you will see more seeds here, the seeds are getting cluttered, then there are no seeds here, then again you will see lots of seeds on this place. Okay, so this makes so this creates lot of problem. It will create problem for the plant in getting nutrients. The plant will compete with each other for nutrients, sunlight, etc. So this method has this two disadvantages. Okay, let's move to the next method. The next method is traditional method. So what does traditional method means? This method is also a little bit similar to the broadcasting, but here what they do is they take the help of a tool. So what is the tool? I think they have given in the book also. Okay, see figure 1.2a, they have given traditional method of sowing. So there you can see, check your books. Okay, there in figure 1.2a you can find two person, they are standing, and you can find a small funnel shaped tool there. It's being linked with a pipe. Have you seen it? Okay, so that is the tool that they have mentioned, that it is a tool is used, and uh, the tool is the tool is shaped as a funnel. Yeah, so what the farmers will do, they will take the seeds and they will put the seeds in the funnel. So the seeds will, please check the picture. Okay, the seeds will then so the process is like that. At first the seeds are filled in the funnel, and then it is then passed down through pipes having sharp ends. Okay, so when you see the picture, the funnel, so the first process, there the farmer will put the seeds in the funnel, and these seeds will then get passed through the pipes. Have you seen the pipe connecting with the funnel? So the seeds will then go pass through the pipe, and the pipe will have this kind of sharp ends. Okay, somehow like this. So what these sharp ends will do, it will go deep into the soil. Okay, it will go deep into the soil, and the seeds will get placed deep into the soil. So this is how the second method works, the traditional method. So the first, what will happen, seeds are filled into the funnel. The second thing is, it is then passed down through pipes having sharp ends. Then the third, what will happen, seeds are then placed in the soil. So finally, this is how the second method works. Understood? Okay, let's move to the next one. So the next one is seed drill. So about seed drill also, please check out the image that they have given, figure 1.2b. They have given a picture, please check it out. Okay, figure 1.2b, have you checked? So that's the picture of a seed drill. So let's study about seed drill. So about seed drill, it is a quicker and a better method of sowing. Okay, so about seed drill, what we have studied is that it is a quicker and a better method of sowing. So why did they mention quicker and better? Why did they not mention it on the previous two methods? Okay, we'll learn it now. So they say that seed drill is a quicker and better method of sowing. Why? Because it has many advantages. What are the advantages? So the first one is, it saves time. Okay, have you seen the picture? Okay, so the first advantage is that it saves time, and the second is that it saves labor. Okay, so the third point is that it ensures that seeds are properly spaced. The second is that sown in right depth. The first is seeds are properly spaced, and the second is sown in right depth. So what does all of this mean? Okay, so you can see the seed drill. Okay, if you see the picture very zoom the picture, there you will see that the tool, it gets deep inside the soil. So why they say that the seed drill is quicker and better? Because this seed drill, this tool, it can be used with the help of a plow or a tractor. So when we use a tractor with a seed drill, it's very profitable for the farmer. So it saves a lot of time and a lot of labor. So let's move to the next point. The next point is it is a funnel shaped bowl connected to a series of long tubes that have narrow holes. So for this, once again you can take the help of figure 1.2a in your book. So there you can see two farmers putting the seeds in a funnel shaped tool. Have you seen it? Okay, so seed drill is somewhat like this only. Okay, for the picture you can also search in Google. So it's also same. There you will have a funnel shaped tool like this, but in the traditional method you have seen only one pipe, but here in this traditional method they have given it like that. But here you will be having more of such kind of long tubes. Okay, so if you have more tubes, what will happen? You can sow seeds more in one time. You can sow a lot of seeds, but the traditional method, it only allows you to seed one seed at a time. Okay, so in this way also it's very helpful for the farmer. Okay, so if you have understood this, let's move to the next topic. So it's the third one, the third agricultural practice. So the third agricultural practice is adding manure and fertilizers. Okay, so you can also take this point. This is 1.5 in your book, page number 5, adding manure and fertilizers. Okay, so in this agricultural practice, what is this? What does this step mean? Here the farmer will add manure and fertilizer to the cropland. Okay, so this is a very important step for the farmer. It's a very important step. Why? Because what happens is, suppose there is a cropland and here the farmer has been continuously producing crops. Okay, so if the crops are being cultivated continuously, then what happens? The nutrients of the nutrients of the soil, it gets over. Okay, the nutrients, the soil, if you cultivate crops continuously, what will happen? The soil will be lacking in nutrients. Okay, so if you start cultivating crops every year, okay, the plants will take all the nutrients. So in this way, what will happen? The soil will be very poor in nutrients. So to solve this problem, what the farmers do, they include this step, and in this step we add manure and fertilizers. Okay, so the first point says that manure and fertilizer ensures healthy growth of plants. The second point is these are added in the form of nutrients to the soil. The third point is it is a very important point, very important step. The fourth is continuous growing of crops makes the soil poor in nutrients. Okay, so this problem can be solved by following crop rotation, adding fertilizers and manures. Okay, so as I have already explained that continuous growing of crops makes the soil poor in nutrients. So to solve this problem, we take the help of these three methods. Okay, so the first method is fallowing. So what does fallowing means? Fallowing is nothing but the practice of leaving the field uncultivated. So suppose you have a crop plant here and you have been cultivating something continuously. year after year, season after season. So what happened? You have seen that your soil is lacking in nutrients. So what you will do is, in this process, you will do nothing. You will simply leave the soil. You will simply leave the soil without cultivating anything, suppose for 1 year. So you will leave the soil as it is. You do not have to do anything for this, just leave the soil. What will happen? That the soil will regain all the nutrients that it has been lacking, and the soil will once again be fertile for you to grow other crops. Okay, so this is simple method. This is a simple method that you will just leave the field uncultivated, and this process of leaving the field uncultivated is known as what? Fallowing. Okay, so the next point is crop rotation. So what is crop rotation? So in crop rotation, what we will do is, it is the process of growing crops alternatively on the same field. So suppose in one season you have, in this land, in one season you have cultivated rice. Okay, so what you will do is, you will in the so in the same field you will grow different crop. Okay, so in the first season you grew rice plant. So in the second point of crop rotation, what we will do is, we will, in the example you can see that after growing wheat for a season, farmers will grow a crop of legume family such as peas, gram and groundnut. So after rice, if you see that the soil is losing its nutrients, so what you will do is, you will grow a crop of suppose for example you will grow pea. So pea comes from legume family. So what does leguminous plant mean? They have new nitrogen fixing bacteria called rhizobium. So if you search on the internet also, you will see that the leguminous plant, they have roots, they have legumes on the roots. Okay, so they have some kind of legumes like this. So here, this plant, they have a bacteria in the roots, and that's known as rhizobium. So what does rhizobium do? Rhizobium fixes the atmospheric nitrogen. What does it do? It takes this bacteria, it takes the nitrogen from the atmosphere and fix this in the soil. It makes the nitrogen, the atmospheric nitrogen, it convert the atmospheric nitrogen, see the last point, it converts the atmospheric nitrogen into compounds that can be used by the plants. Okay, so in this way, the soil, it regains the nutrients, and the crop is once again fertile for the farmers to sow different kinds of crops. Okay, so let's leave till here for today. Okay, so we'll continue in our next class.